Time to move the Princess, but it's been that long since I did it, the battery's gone flat. So I've used the Maestro to pull the Princess back a bit. I'm on my own, so it's a little bit awkward. And I've hooked everything up, which is also awkward because the batteries are on different sides. And we'll see if this will fire up. It's usually really reliable, so yeah, let's see what happens. No bother. Now I have to move it around without stalling it. It's quite a workout moving this car when it's not been shifted for a while. The brakes are dragging a bit, and I've had to keep the choke fairly high because of the head gasket problem. Speaking of, so the Princess is quite dirty at the moment because it's not being used, but you can see temperature gauge is about halfway. It doesn't overheat, which is nice. Everything's behaving like it should. It's a bit tappety. It usually is until it's warmed up fully. But what tends to happen, it's not doing it so much just at the moment, but on this corner you start seeing bubbles appear eventually. And that's because the head gasket's actually gone. But I do suspect it's just the gasket on this, so at some point I'm going to pull the head off, clean everything and just put a new gasket on. If that fixes it, great. Then I can do a full engine rebuild at a later date. But, you know, it runs, it drives, it stops. The steering is a lot heavier than I remember. I think I'm used to the Maestro. But I think I'll probably have to do something on this car soon. Because, I mean, it costs barely anything to run. It's tax exempt, MOT exempt, come to that. And it costs barely anything to insure, even with the mods. So we should do something with it. We just need to find the time. Now that it's been running a little while, you can just see how on this seam the aluminium head meets the cast iron block, stretchy block, the head there, and there's the head gasket. It's just starting to sweat, and as it gets warmer you find that there's coolant appearing there, and it's just starting to do it in the coolant bottle as well, the expansion bottle. You can see the bubbles appearing in the coolant, you can just see the surface wobbling there. I'm pretty sure this head gasket has gone coolant to exhaust. The exhaust itself doesn't smell very coolanty, but I'm getting exhaust gas in the expansion bottle, I'm getting that sweating on the head gasket seam, so I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. My gut feeling is it's just the head gasket itself though, it's just a bad head gasket. Cheap enough to replace, about £15 for a new gasket, so it's silly not to. You'll have to excuse slightly shaky cam. I can't set the tripod up and talk to you, and my hands aren't particularly steady when I'm holding on to a jiggly car. Okay, so the fan for the radiator is kicking on and off when it should, and the temperature gauge never gets hotter than that, which again sort of suggests that the gasket is sort of doing its job, but not quite well enough. When I've had head gasket failure before in this car, the temperature spikes really fast. This time it's maintaining it quite well. The only thing that's causing the problem is it's leaking a tiny amount of coolant through the gasket, but not enough to be a noticeable drop in the coolant itself, and it's putting exhaust into the expansion bottle. But it's not putting moisture or steam out of the exhaust, which again kind of says it's not that serious. I'm getting no mixing of the oil and the water, they're staying separate, which again, in the past, it's done that, or it's blown the head gasket so badly that it's just chucked all of the coolant straight out the exhaust. So, at some point, I'll work up the motivation to do this. It's something I can do. I know the head's only done about 70 miles since it was completely rebuilt and skimmed. I know there's a chance that the block needs decking. It could be a slightly warped block surface. If I replace the head gasket for about £15 and it cures the problem, then I can use the car again. As long as I keep an eye on all my gauges and all my levels and all the rest of it, we'll be good to go for a bit, and then I can use this car again. That would then give me some breathing space with the Maestro. So we'll just have to see. At some point there'll be another Princess video, I don't know when, but that's where we are at the moment. I just thought you'd like to see it moving around, a little bit of an explanation on what's going on and why things aren't progressing. Yeah, fun times. Right, I'll see you next time.